with freaking Redfall, where a lot of people were like, I don't know, man, it seems weird to have this studio doing a live service game. What are we doing? Looks really crappy. And then you get a couple of Xbox YouTubers who are like, this has the potential to be the best game Microsoft has ever made, and potentially a Game of the Year contender, especially when you consider what the Studio Arcane has done before. And it's like everybody is laughing their asses off that somebody could suggest such a stupid thing. But like, those are the people that they keep giving access to, and they're like shocked when people don't believe them, you know? Like, what do you mean you didn't believe the fanboy? Like, what did you mean? We thought you would be super convinced. It's like, no, like, everybody else has eyes and can see that this looks like ass. We're not just going to believe some guy on X that's saying it's game of the generation, you know, because it's not.
All right, everybody, welcome back to another Xvault gaming video. Xvault here, and today we're going to go over your next dose of the salty batch files. Yes, you probably guessed it, but the theme of things here is in regards to port begging from the Xbox community, this time in regards to Spider-Man 2, just because Insomniac made a casual post about Spider-Man 2, so you know how much they're clawing and grasping at this. So we have stuff to break down, stuff to show, and all that good stuff. So without further ado, let's go ahead and jump to it. All right, so like I was saying, what we're going to do is get right to the theme of things, Spider-Man, port begging, all that good stuff as well. In conjunction with that, the opener, as you could see, is that not a good opener as far as what they were trying to specify? Insert any, and we probably know that's mostly attuned to Cold Eat Wood. Yeah. Consistency is key with him as far as overhyping and just over-embellishing stuff like that. But you can truly insert most Xbox content creator fanboys and how that looks and pertains to the normal audiences out there that aren't part of that sheep culling, right? But that said, always a good thing to kind of look at and see how non-self-aware they are, or maybe their followers are just so non-attuned to the whole thing, who knows. But that being said, let's get to our first example here. We have Francisco Melo Jr., Definitive Edition, Tic Tac, ... with an hourglass emoji. Wouldn't it be TikTok, not tic-tac-toe? Am I missing something here? But again, this all stemmed from an Insomniac tweet just posting about Spider-Man in general, right? Nothing to do with even anything related to Xbox whatsoever, not hinting even towards anything upcoming, nothing announced, no special announcement, anything of that sort, but they're here clamoring on, of course, importing the 4K, smart delivery, all that good stuff on the Xbox Series X, and for some reason on this mock-up Xbox One. I guess they want to port it all the way back to the Xbox One. Are there a lot of Xbox One users still out there that haven't upgraded either to PC, PlayStation 4, 5, or even the Series S or X with that entry model of the S, right? I mean, what are we doing? What are we doing? Let's keep going here. So again, more mock-ups. This one coming from the Gaming Prophet NYC, the dude that does not play games, does not have a good gamer score, does not practice what he preaches. As you can see here, Marvel Spider-Man announcement for Xbox Series XS and Nintendo Switch 2 incoming. So at least he's including the Switch 2, right? Which I think it would do very well on the Switch 2, at least with the first one, the remastered. We'll see about the new stuff. Maybe it can do some things with some tweaks and such like that. However, again, we're kind of going out on a limb here over a nothing burger so far in regards to Insomniac. I get it if there's some sort of you could even run with it again if there was some sort of a teaser announcement or saying something special is upcoming or stay tuned. It's not going to be a special announcement. It's going to be at the drop of a hat if this was to happen. So as you can see, really bad photoshopped portion of this here where Spider-Man's not even correctly holding an Xbox controller. Pretty bad, and we're throwing back to the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man suit on top of that as well. Not that that's not available in the game, but to use that as the forefront, kind of an odd thing instead of just using the Insomniac suit, which would be the aforementioned prospect for what's being offered right away on the box art and such, but that's me nitpicking there, of course. But again, clamoring at what? What are we clamoring at? In hopes, the gravitas that Spider-Man is indeed coming over to other platforms aside from PC and PlayStation at this point in time. But as we continue on here, we have the Catfish Joseph Cruz, aka Andrea Piccinini, aka rebranded Extension here. Rumor. Just rumor with a period. Xbox, Spider-Man. There is no rumor when normal shares of an Insomniac tweet of just a post of Spider-Man. That's not a rumor of something coming over. A rumor is something of some sort of leak or insider stating one thing or the other. Not one insider has stated that Spider-Man is heading that way, is having the opportunity to arrive on other platforms aside from PlayStation or PC at this time or in the next couple years even. Nobody's alluded to anything. That a rumor is a rumor, not a, hey, we're just going to will this to an existence, hopefully, maybe, crossing the fingers. There are no rumor. You have to have a basis. You have to have a basis somewhere to corroborate on a rumor. You'd have to have PlayStation executives come out stating hashtag the whole slate, hashtag no red lines, whatever the case is. Then you might have something to go on. At least you have something to go on. There's nothing of the sort other than PlayStation games are also on PC. Helldivers 2, yes. Games as a service game coming to the Xbox ecosystem late August. We have nothing to corroborate for Spider-Man. You get a game that does eventually go over there because it's a games as a service. What does that attune to? Again, they're not even basing it off of Helldivers 2. They're basing it off of a tweet that Insomniac posted with Spider-Man just swinging. Talking about Spider-Man. There's nothing there. So are we surprised that they're trying to chock full and get some steam behind this? No, we're not, but funny nonetheless. Pathetic, desperate, whatever you want to say. We go on to Xbox Series XS again, stating, this is the Insomniac tweet, by the way. Spider-Man Xbox port coming soon, eye emojis. They state, hey, how are ya? Be greater, Spider-Man PS5. They literally hashtag Spider-Man PS5. They don't even hashtag PC in this post. They don't hashtag anything else. They don't allude to anything else. It's him throwing up a peace sign. In the whole Xbox shill and fraud community, the sheep community, trying to run with something. Probably what started with this idiot right here, with the eyes emoji, and then previously, the Catfish themselves, who doesn't play anything but Forza, really, is latching on stating rumor. Guys, we can create whatever rumors we want on any channel without having a basis to go off of. It doesn't make sense. It leaves you looking desperate. And not too long ago, do we not remember that they were making fun of the PlayStation community because we knew the whole slate was coming, but that translated to port begging, and that's pathetic and beneath them and all that sort of stuff. But they're coming around with a tweet that you're seeing right now. Clamoring. And then don't forget, you know what, we'll get to that. We'll get to that other topic here in regards to Spider-Man in just a moment here. But let's keep going here. So again, that same tweet from Insomniac, hey, how are ya? Comment down below here. The Chaos Lounge. So Spider-Man 2018 coming to Xbox? That's what you get. Let me tell you, and we'll get to this in a moment. Insomniac is synonymous with posting out just random clips, just randomly. There's no rhyme or reason. I love Insomniac, but as far as their social media team, there's kind of no rhyme or reason half the time when they just do their posts. They just do it to share, post their games, keep their games word of mouth alive, all that sort of stuff. We see that often with like Resistance, Ratchet and Clank, insert any other Insomniac game as well. We've seen it a lot with Sunset Overdrive, right? It's for them to reach that far, in regards to Spider-Man, guys, they were downplaying Spider-Man from day one. Remember Puddlegate? They were making fun of Spider-Man. Not our cup of tea. Not something we want to play. We don't care that it's not on Xbox, guys. As we continue with Spider-Man, Miles Morales, Spider-Man 2, they harped over and over again. Doesn't look good. Look at these NPCs. It's woke. It's DEI. It's all this stuff. Freaking out. Saying it's garbage, saying they wouldn't ever even want that on their ecosystem or system in general, and here we are, myriads of them clamoring. I didn't believe for a second they truly didn't want Spider-Man. It all comes from jealousy and salt, Spider-Man is the #1 selling IP for Marvel, period, and amongst other IPs as well. Spider-Man is hugely popular across the world, the entire world. That's one that translates all over the place. Spider-Man is that popular. He does numbers in comics, toys, games, you name it. Doesn't even matter if it was a mediocre game. Look at past Spider-Man games, those still sold extremely well. But let's continue here. Gaming Prophet's back. He's not done with one post, he has another one. Announcement is imminent, like he states, and of course has a Switch 2 box art mock-up as well as the Xbox box art mock-up here. Hoping for the best and saying it's going to be ported over by Nixus and all that stuff as well. And you know what? I'm not ever going to mislead you guys and say something like that can't ever happen. I'm not going to say that. It's not likely. It probably isn't likely anytime soon. There's no need for it. Exclusives matter, all that stuff. I know people still argue with me to the moon about exclusives, but they don't have a good rebuttal. I always turn around and explain to them, and then they have nothing to say, and they just kind of double down on what they already said. They lose the moot point. The truth is, exclusives matter, always have, always will, as long as they are around, and hopefully that works out, because for you as a consumer, believe it or not, exclusives matter. That being said, like I said, continuing to clamor, but they just didn't like Spider-Man not that long ago. Months ago, they were still talking trash, if not weeks ago. They were still talking trash about Spider-Man, but we knew deep down inside, it hurt their soul that Spider-Man was not on their preferred system. Let's continue here. So how we were talking about Resistance, right? We have Insomniac Games here stating, Hale's feeling, quote, refreshed and ready to take on the week. Hope you all had a good weekend. And then the Steeb, a perfect game to put on Xbox, laughing emoji, knowing he's kind of trolling. I get it. However, I'm sure they would love all that. I mean, Resistance is an amazing series. I think it's fun. It could definitely do with a fresh coat of paint and do some quality of life features, maybe update those controls a little bit too, because I even went back to some of the older ones recently, and man, those controls do not hold up super well. So hopefully that could be refreshed if it does come. But that is one that I'm clamoring for. But again, I'm already on the PlayStation ecosystem as my preferred platform, so me asking for another Resistance, remaster, whatever the case is, next entry, prequel, I don't care. Give me some more Resistance. But like I said, Insomniac posts and tweets stuff all the time at random. It doesn't necessarily mean anything behind it. It's been so long. However, fingers crossed in regards to Resistance, they did remove that part of the Premium Plus subscription fee for the PS3 streaming and stuff like that. They did remove those games, so maybe they have something in the works for true native backwards compatibility in regards to downloading it, much like they're doing with some of the other, PS1 games and stuff like that. Hopefully they're figuring something else out, or they just get that code and they redo it with a remaster or whatever they're going to do with it, right? Fingers crossed on that, guys. But let's continue on here. Just a couple more examples here. And of course, we have to show Goat Gaming, right? Here's all of his examples. This is where they like to base the rumors from as well. Like I've explained multiple times with Goat Gaming, it's all satire. People believe him, and he makes up random crap. He tags people, he hashtags people. It's interesting still to this day that he doesn't get in trouble or flagged for doing so. Like here he's tagging Insomniac right away, and he's not getting a cease and desist, push square, all this stuff, you name it. He's done everybody under the sun. I personally think he's playing with fire in regards to that, even though I know it's satire. But when you're tagging the companies, if you're just doing your own thing, but when you tag the companies, that gets other consumers and other people on social media that does follow those sites, and you get them on there, and they don't understand that it's satire. And trust me, a lot of people don't understand it's satire because people from the PlayStation community are out there stating, like, getting pissed off, and I get it. I get irritated at Goat Gaming because of the damage it can do to these organizations and companies and devs and stuff like that. It's a lot that they have to keep up with in journalism and on social media alone, but to sit there and try to combat these other accounts that, for example, Goat Gaming has like 4,000 followers, is it enough to allocate resources to stop and do that? I don't know. But if his account was to continue to grow or were continue to grow, that could definitely pose a problem. So I get the outrage a little bit on that. I don't love it, but I do understand that it is satire. And then you got the other side, the Xbox community, that's out there underneath that stating and feeling and believing in what they say. Even they just can't fathom those two brain cells aren't firing off with one another. They don't understand this is all farce, and they run with it. And of course, that's where probably some of this stupid rumor stuff can occur. Kind of pathetic. I do wish he would stop. I understand it's satire, but it just harms all the way around. It harms Xbox for you Xbox folks. It does harm and hurt the PlayStation community and devs and other people that he is tagging, even the people he tags on the Xbox side of things. I don't think anybody should run with this and say, hey, good job, GOAT. I wish he'd kind of take what he has and shift it into something else at this point in time. Like, you did your thing, you got a good amount of followers on social media, have fun another way, but this is harming the gaming industry as a whole, and if it continues to get worse and worse and bigger, that could be a problem. But again, this is where some of this port begging and some of these rumors may have derived from. So just a little share there. And to leave off here, of course, we can't leave off without reject Boomstick here. He states, could Insomniac Spider-Man swing onto Xbox later this year? So he thinks not even next year, he thinks this year, by the way. Full breakdown with Crispy Bomb and Jamie Moron, yes, Jamie Moron, because he's wrong most of the time, on the tweet that had Xbox fans talking. And we saw the tweet. We saw the tweet that meant nothing, that is a nothing burger. It has who talking? Idiots like yourself, Boom, are the problem here. Because you hit 1 out of a million, which was Helldivers 2, does not make you an insider, doesn't make it seem like you have an actual insight to the industry whatsoever. If I was to throw some dart out there on the wall somewhere and hit a bullseye 1 out of a million times, it's going to land somewhere. If I was going to choose a PlayStation game that would have, if I was thinking, even though I didn't think at the time, or if it was going to be even later, I didn't say it was completely off the table, but if there was going to be a PlayStation game published, aside from MLB, it would be Helldivers 2 because it's a games as a service game. So again, you get these folks, and Boom does have a pretty large follower base. He does. So again, running with this, and they continually do that and run, rampant, gains traction, creates all this stuff. But again, port begging at its finest. To recap, they disliked Spider-Man, said they didn't want it, didn't need it. It was woke, it was DEI, Puddlegate, the NPCs looked terrible, the story was terrible. You name it, they disliked everything about it, but lo and behold, it's an amazing game and they want it on Xbox, and hopefully this year. You gotta love it. The circus show never ends, it seems. Who knows if it'll ever end, but at least, hey, we got some additional content on the channel because of it, so enjoy. That being said, we will wrap up the video here, folks. I do appreciate you sticking around, watching the entirety of the content. Really appreciate that. Us hitting the goal, 3,500, thank you so much once again. We can push on to the 4,000. That is our next goal. I know we could do more. Let's get the truth out there. Let's be honest. Let's do some good stuff there. And let's have some fun and do all the above, right? That being said, enjoy the rest of your day, everybody. If you haven't already, definitely leave a like, comment down below. Both those things help out. The algorithm helps me out, helps out the channel. If you haven't already, definitely consider subscribing, helping out a small content creator like myself, and we can continue to do more and more. That being said, at the end of the day, always remember, don't be a salty batch. And we'll see y'all next time on the next Xvault Gaming video. And until then, take care.